Kaley Cuoco shocked everyone when she showed up at the US Open with jet black hair and space buns. But that was just the beginning. In 2024, she spent $50,000 on new teeth that completely changed her smile. Fans noticed her face looked frozen from procedures. She dropped 15 pounds for mysterious reasons. The girl next door from Big Bang Theory was gone. In her place stood someone almost unrecognizable. What happened to the actress who once made $1 million per episode? The transformation goes deeper than anyone imagined. Kaley Cuoco was born on November 30, 1985 at 7:38 p.m. in Camarillo, California. Her father, Gary Carmen Cuoco, had Italian roots and worked first as a firefighter, then as a real estate agent. Her mother, Lane Ann Wingate, had English and German ancestry and had worked as a print model. Kay grew up in Oxnard with her younger sister Brianna, and they were surrounded by strong Italian traditions. Her grandparents, Angelo and Mary, had come from Calabria, Italy. Every summer the family went back to Italy, and Kay grew up hearing the language, tasting homemade pasta, and hearing stories from the old country. That culture made her feel proud even later when she was standing in the middle of a Hollywood set. But her life could have gone in a very different direction. When Kay was 3, she picked up a tennis racket. Her mom told her to choose more than just acting, so Kay chose tennis. By age 12, she was winning local tournaments and ranked regionally. She trained 4 to 6 hours a day while keeping a 3.8 GPA. As a homeschooled student, she had real chances to go pro. Coaches saw something big in her. Then in 2001, at age 16, everything collapsed. During a match in Palm Springs, she injured her shoulder so badly it ended her tennis career for good. Surgery and physical therapy followed, but it was over. The same week she stopped training. She started pouring herself into acting with the same kind of fire she had once used on the court. She later said that losing tennis gave her the kind of tunnel vision she needed to make it in showbiz. There was one summer trip to Italy that Kay never forgot. She was 8 when her family visited Rome. They were in the Pantheon area when she got lost in the crowd. For nearly 3 hours, she was missing. She was finally found crying in a small cafe. Some locals who didn't speak English were trying to calm her down. That moment left her scared of large crowds. Even years later, while filming The Flight Attendant in Rome, she had a flashback when her hair accidentally caught fire in a nightclub. People were yelling, "Fuoco," which means fire, but she thought they were shouting her last name Cuoco. She laughed afterward, but in the moment she was terrified. Kaley's first taste of the camera came when she was 6. She modeled for a toy catalog in Ventura County and got paid $50. Not long after, she started auditioning for commercials. But her first big rejection hit hard. A casting director at a Kmart campaign told her mom that Kay was too plain and didn't have the spark they needed. Kay cried for hours. The next day, she dyed her hair platinum blonde. Within a few weeks, she landed 3 big commercials for Barbie, Oscar Mayer, and a car dealership. That month, she earned more than her dad did at the fire station. She learned young that sometimes a small change in appearance can make all the difference. Kay hit another struggle around age 12. She had grown to 5 feet 6. Taller than most kids at her school. Some classmates called her names like giraffe or giant. They made fun of her looks and even tricked her once with a fake invitation to a club for tall girls. She found an empty classroom covered in mean messages. She started eating lunch alone. By 5th grade, she had panic attacks and social anxiety. Her parents pulled her out of school and decided to homeschool her. It gave her space to heal and focus on acting. She ended up finishing high school at 16. She had already been acting in small roles. At 7, she played Connie Reinhardt in a TV movie called Quicksand, No Escape with Donald Sutherland and Felicity Huffman. The film wasn't a huge hit, but she learned a lot on set. That same year, she had already done Oscar Mayer and Barbie commercials. 2 years later, in 1994, she landed short guest roles on My So-Called Life and Northern Exposure. These parts were small, but they built her resume and put her in front of experienced actors. She kept showing up, learning how to work on sets, memorizing scripts, and handling pressure. The commercial work helped pay bills. By age 6, kids across the country had seen her face in Barbie ads. But at school, it didn't make her popular. She said the fame made her feel like an outcast. Some kids thought she was arrogant, even though she wasn't. That isolation led her family to stick with homeschooling. She could now take acting jobs without worrying about missing school. And she didn't have to deal with classmates judging her. In 2000, when Kay was 15, she got her first recurring TV role. It was on Ladies' Man, a sitcom starring Alfred Molina and Betty White. She played Bonnie Stiles in the 2nd season. The series lasted 2 years, ending in 2001. Working with big names like Betty White gave Kay real experience. She was ready for bigger roles. Homeschooling came with sacrifices. She never had a prom, but her friend Ashley Tisdale invited her to hers. Kay wore a simple black dress to avoid attention, but some girls still mocked her, saying she looked like she was headed to the Academy Awards. Kay later said she was glad she didn't have to spend every day around that kind of negativity. The real shock came in 2003. Kay had just started filming season 2 of 8 Simple Rules when tragedy hit. On September 11th, John Ritter collapsed on set. He had just finished a promo around 4 p.m., felt sick, and went to lie down. By 6 p.m., he was at the hospital. Kay got the call around 9. By the time she reached the hospital, John Ritter had passed away from an aortic dissection. He was 54. Everyone on set was shattered. The entire studio, including crew and even mailroom staff, was in tears. Kay was only 17, and it was the first time someone that close to her had died so suddenly. Filming stopped. The future of the show was uncertain, but Kay later said she never forgot how kind and protective John had been. In 2006, Kay auditioned for The Big Bang Theory, but not for Penny. The role was called Katie back then. Producers rejected her, saying she was too young at 21. The part went to Amanda Walsh. But the test audiences hated the character. The team rewrote her into Penny, softer and funnier. Kay almost didn't go back. She liked the darker version better. Casting director Nikki called her agent again and again, until Kay finally agreed. Peter Roth, then president of Warner Brothers, later admitted they rescheduled the entire pilot just to wait for her. She ended up auditioning 3 times before she landed it. She once said, "I don't know why they keep calling me back, but they did." And the 3rd time changed her life. Before that, in 2005, she joined the last season of Charmed as Billy Jenkins. The show was already falling apart. Budget cuts were forcing the removal of characters. Behind the scenes, tensions were high. Alyssa Milano had been in conflict with other cast members for years. Holly Marie Combs later said producers were cornered by Milano's ultimatums. Kay walked into that environment at just 19. The energy was cold and unwelcoming. The show ended after that season. Kay also tried voice acting. In 2004, she got a lead role in Disney's Brandy and Mr. Whiskers. But halfway through, she found out her male co-stars were being paid more. Her character was in the title, yet she was earning less. She tried to raise the issue, but met resistance. It opened her eyes to the industry's pay gap. She was just 18 and already seeing how unequal Hollywood could be. Between 2000 and 2005, Kay auditioned for over 50 roles. One of her biggest heartbreaks was losing the role in Mean Girls to Lindsay Lohan. She believed she was perfect for it. The rejection crushed her. She had no backup income, no family in the industry, and every no felt like the end. But she kept showing up. Every audition was a risk, financially and emotionally. But she knew she didn't want to do anything else. When Kaley Cuoco first auditioned for The Big Bang Theory in 2006, she was 21 and got rejected. The network said she was too young. At that time, the main female role wasn't even called Penny yet. It was a different character named Katie, played by Amanda Walsh. They filmed the pilot in early 2007, but after watching it, CBS executives realized something felt wrong. The chemistry wasn't there, so they made a bold move. They threw out the entire pilot, fired Amanda, and reworked the character. Now, she was softer, friendlier, more like the girl next door. That's when they called Kay back. Suddenly, she was perfect. CBS spent nearly $2 million to reshoot the episode, and what started as a rejection turned into the moment that made her a star. Chuck Lorre later said the original pilot just didn't work, but that failure gave Kay the break of a lifetime. Just 3 years later, in September 2010, everything almost ended in 1 second. Kay had been riding horses for years, but that day, during a lesson, she fell. The 1/200 lb horse stepped directly on her left leg. It crushed it. She was rushed to the hospital. Doctors told her she might lose the leg. Before going into surgery, she had to sign a form saying they might need to amputate. The operation took hours. When she woke up, the first thing she did was check if her leg was still there. It changed everything. She missed 2 episodes from season 4. The show hid her cast by keeping her behind the bar or sitting down. Chuck Lorre later said it was the darkest, most frightening moment of all 12 seasons. She started the show in 2007, making $60,000 per episode. By 2010, that jumped to $200,000. But the real shock came in 2014. Kay, along with Johnny Galecki and Jim Parsons, negotiated $1 million per episode from $200,000 to $1 million in just 4 years. That was a 400% jump. They became the highest-paid sitcom actors on TV when seasons 11 and 12 came around. Kay took a $100,000 pay cut so Mayim Bialik and Melissa Roach could get raises. Even then, she was still making $900,000 per episode. By the time the series ended, she had earned over $163 million just from The Big Bang Theory. And that didn't include bonuses or back-end profits. Just from syndication alone, she made another $10 million in the first year. And on top of that, she signed endorsement deals, Priceline, Toyota, and others. In 2013, she made $2 million just from ads. But not everything was smooth. In 2014, she cut her hair short for a film. No one on the show knew, not even Chuck Lorre. She walked on set with a pixie cut. Fans were shocked. Social media exploded. People hated it. Even Lore said he wished they had been warned. On screen, they made a joke about it with Sheldon walking out after seeing her. Kay later called it the worst decision she ever made for the show. In 2015, she appeared on the cover of Shape magazine, showing off a new toned look and abs, but that photo came after months of struggle. Kay had just filed for divorce from tennis player Ryan Sweeting after 21 months of marriage. She deleted every photo of him from her Instagram. It was her first big public heartbreak. Fans assumed she was doing fine because of her glowing magazine covers. But behind the scenes, she was in therapy twice a week. She later admitted she felt lost, like she had failed. She said, "I thought I'd be married forever." That breakup triggered a complete reinvention. She bought a new home in Hidden Hills for $5.5 million and filled it with animals, dogs, horses, goats. The house became her safe place. In 2016, she started dating Carl Cook, a professional equestrian and the son of billionaire Scott Cook, founder of Carl came from money, his family worth nearly $4 billion. But what made her fall for him wasn't the wealth. It was their shared love of horses. He understood her passion and didn't judge her for spending hours at the barn. They got engaged in November 2017 and married in 2018. The wedding took place in a horse stable in San Diego. It looked like a fairy tale. But within months, they were living separately. At first, they said it was because of their busy schedules. Later, it became clear they were drifting apart. They divorced in 2021. Still, she called it a soft divorce, saying Carl was kind even when things ended. Then came The Flight Attendant. The show premiered in 2020 and changed her career forever. For the first time, she was not just starring, she was producing. Her company, yes, Norman Productions, secured a deal with Warner Brothers. Kay had full creative control. The role demanded more emotion than comedy. She spent hours crying in scenes, revisiting memories of loss and anxiety from her own past. During filming, she developed panic attacks. She said she'd never cried so much in her life. The show earned her Emmy and Golden Globe nominations, but it also took a toll on her mental health. By 2022, Kay met actor Tom Pelphrey at the Ozark premiere. It was instant chemistry. They started dating quietly, and in March 2023, she gave birth to their daughter, Matilda Carmine Ritchie Pelphrey. The name paid tribute to her father's Italian roots. Carmine was her dad's middle name. Motherhood was beautiful but brutal. Kay suffered from postpartum depression. She shared that she cried daily and felt overwhelmed. She said, "No one talks about how dark it can get." At one point, she stopped posting online completely. Fans noticed her sudden absence. After Matilda's birth, Kay started wearing oversized clothes and skipping red carpets. People speculated she'd had surgery, but the truth was exhaustion. She was struggling to balance work, motherhood, and recovery. When she returned to the public eye at the 2024 US Open, her appearance shocked everyone. She had black hair, space buns, and a slimmer face. Fans flooded Twitter with theories, fillers, Ozempic, jawline, contouring, but her team stayed silent. Later, a source close to her confirmed she'd had cosmetic dental work worth $50,000 and had lost weight naturally through stress and sleep deprivation. What truly hit fans, though, was her expression. The carefree penny smile was gone. Her face looked still, almost frozen. She had spoken before about using Botox and fillers, saying, "I'm not against it, but I also don't want to look like a different person." Now, she did. The transformation wasn't just physical. After The Big Bang Theory ended, she'd lost the identity that had carried her for 12 years. Then came to divorces, surgery scars, and the weight of fame. She once said, "It's weird when everyone loves you for being someone else. Then one day, you stop being her, and they don't know who you are anymore." Kay also revealed she had multiple surgeries after the horse accident, two on her leg, one on her nose from a fall, and a neck procedure in 2021. For years, she'd hidden the scars under long dresses, but in a rare 2023 interview, she said, "Every mark on me tells a story. They're proof that I've survived." Her mental health journey paralleled her physical one. She admitted to having anxiety since her teens, worsened by fame. During Big Bang Theory, she often felt pressure to stay perfect hair, body, smile. She called it the beauty tax. In therapy, she learned to separate Kaley Cuoco, the actress, from Kay the person. She said, "Penny paid my bills, but she wasn't me." That awareness helped her start producing projects that reflected her real self, messy, emotional, authentic. In 2024, she produced Roleplay and Based on a True Story. Both explored identity and lies, themes she understood deeply. Fans often ask, what's next for her? She's said she dreams of directing someday, maybe even returning to a sitcom, but only if it feels right. Her company continues to sign female-led projects and push for pay equity in Hollywood. She says, "If I can make one woman's journey easier than mine was, then all of this means something." From a tennis prodigy who lost her shot at glory to a global sitcom star who rebuilt herself again and again, Kaley Cuoco's story is about survival, transformation, and quiet strength. Beneath every headline, every new look, and every reinvention, She's still the same girl from Camarillo, chasing her next chapter with grit. Humor, and the heart of someone who refuses to quit. Humor, and the heart of someone who refuses to quit.